So I'm going to go over the level up mentality, and I'm sure a lot of you have already heard it. I'm going to try and give it a little bit instead. But the level up mentality, my favorite analogy for it is playing video games. Who here was ever a gamer back in the day? Maybe? Yeah. Hopefully not now. Okay, but who was a gamer back in the day? Maybe some Call of Duty, some Halo, MW2. Yeah, that's where it all started.
Yes, sir.
Some of the, you guys are all probably too young, but some of the OGs were hardcore. I didn't get started. I wish I got started. I wish I got started in that era. I heard that.
1v1 cage match, baby.
Anyways, the first game that I ever picked up was a Halo game, and I remember.
Well played.
The first game, I remember the first time that I played Halo, and I'm using an Xbox in school. I've never played an Xbox, and I'm trying to figure out how everything works. And you know, you got the left analog stick, it kind of determines where it is that you're moving in what direction, and then the right analog stick is controlling, you know, where it is that you're viewing things. And if you've never played it, if you've ever watched someone new, you know this, or if you remember the first time you played, you're probably extremely uncoordinated, and you couldn't move both analog sticks at the same time almost. It took you a minute. You sucked. And if you ended up playing live, you're that noob that's walking around like this. So you're going in one direction, and then the bad guy's that way, so then you move that way. You don't move and look around at the exact same time, so you get what I'm saying, okay? The point is, you absolutely suck, and that's how you start off when you first play a video game. You suck at it, and then what happens? You put in a little bit of time, you get a little bit of experience, and then all of a sudden you can start being able to move and look at multiple different directions all at the same time. You start, first off, you suck with the gun, you suck at shooting, you suck at aiming and shooting, you suck at aiming and then moving around and shooting. Like you suck at looking at your map, aiming, shooting. Like there's all these little things that are almost overwhelming for you. Starting off, they're very, very, very difficult, and you suck at it. And what happens? You gain a little bit of experience, you start to play a little bit more, and then all of a sudden it starts to become second nature. Okay? And it's the exact same thing kind of with this job, and honestly in anything that you'll ever do in life. You're gonna go through these stages of leveling up and these stages of learning. Okay, when you're in the field, for the new people, okay, it's probably extremely awkward for you the first day saying, hey, how's it going? To question for you to every single person walking by. Extremely uncomfortable. But if you look at your leader, if you look at anyone that's been around for like 2 weeks, most people are doing it almost extremely nonchalant. Where you're walking out of the fucking Sam's Club and you're saying, hey, how's it going? Quick question, and you're like, fuck, I'm not working anymore. Like it becomes not like ingrained into you to say that you do it without thinking about it, but the first time that you ever did it, you had to put a lot of mental energy into doing it. And then same thing with the pitch, and then the more and more time that you do it, the better and better and better you get. The more and more time that you play the game, the more you progress, the higher level that you get to. You start playing at easy, medium, hard, you get better and better, the game just keeps progressing, and that's in any industry and anything that you will do, you're always going to get to you're always going to progress through levels, through difficulties, things, and every single level that you get to, there's going to be some form of challenge in it, there's going to be some form of difficulty in it, and a newer perspective that I've kind of gotten, that I'm going to kind of use to compare is every level has a new devil. Meaning there's always going to be some challenge that you're going to have to come across, that is some enemy that you're going to have to face, and you're gonna have to overcome that devil per se, that enemy per se. And what I've recently learned is that the enemy, the devil, it's not physically something else. It's not an actual other obstacle that's in front of you. It's literally you. You are your biggest devil. You are your biggest enemy. Your thoughts, your insecurities, your lack of belief, your self-doubt. All those little things are the devil, the enemy that you're playing at every single level. The thing is, some of you, with the talent that you have, the abilities, the training that you've gotten, you've been able to progress, and you beat that devil, you beat that enemy every single little time. But there's gonna come a point in time where the level's gonna get harder, the devil's gonna stare at you right in the face, the enemy's gonna stare at you right in the face, and it's gonna seem challenging, and you're not gonna wanna overcome it. Okay, and here's what happens when most people are faced with that, okay, is they retreat. Okay, they look to see where the grass is greener on the other side. And as cliche as it sounds, the grass is greener always wherever it is that you water it. Okay? And what most people don't realize is whatever your issue is here, okay, your issue, okay, whatever it is here, whatever's holding you back from moving forward, okay? Some of you, you may just be struggling with the sales. Some of you, you may be struggling with training. Some of you may be struggling to be that leader that you want to be. Some of you are getting into that management position and you're struggling to move forward into that management position. Some of the managers, they're dealing with other things where they have to oversee a bunch of people and they're trying to be a good example for everyone and they're dealing with that. Whatever it may be, there's always something that you're dealing with and it's always going to be with yourself, and that's why it doesn't matter if you leave here because you think of that obstacle and that's the reason why you can't make it work here and that's the reason why it's not going to work for you. That enemy, that devil, it's gonna go with you wherever it is that you go. And what'll happen is you start over again in level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, easy, medium, difficult, or hard, whatever it may be, and in that other game, and you progress a little bit more and you feel like it's a little bit better, but eventually the video game's gonna get so hard again, the life game is gonna get hard again, and you're gonna have to come across that obstacle that you've been avoiding this whole entire time, and it's yourself. So there's something that you have to overcome about yourself, your belief, your insecurities, your self-doubt, whatever your confidence, whatever it may be, there's something that you have to overcome about yourself, and most people, what they'll do is they'll turn around and they look the other way, okay? A lot of us will ignore it, and this is why I believe a lot of people, they go out and drink, they smoke weed, they have other outlets. They have other outlets to keep them distracted from facing that enemy head on. And it's one of the biggest issues that people will run into is trying to face their issues head on. Most people, they want to avoid it. And some of us here have done it. When we roll a 0, we don't want to answer a lead. We don't want to tell them why it is that we're doing bad, why it is that we're not being consistent. That's a form of retreating. That's a form of avoiding the issue at hand. And I'm telling you, whatever, you gotta get in the habit of whatever, as soon as there's an issue, face it head on and do something about it. You have an issue with someone, go up and tell them, hey man, like Khalil, Rob, the managers, here's what we've gotten really good at. As soon as one of us piss each other off, and we have an issue with one of another, right away we go tell each other, hey motherfucker, you're pissing me off doing this. Yeah. Hey man, this is pissing me off. Hey man, you're doing this and this and this, it's kind of annoying. And it happens like immediately. Whatever, and it's just learning to face your issues head on versus a lot of people, they're just in the habit of retreating, turning away, running away, looking for where the grass is greener on the other side, instead of just focusing on, I just need to water my grass. I just need to get better at this level in the video game. And for some of you, when you're in the field, it's very easy. Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, the basics, it's just learning to talk to everyone, having a good attitude the whole entire time, learn to get consistent at the sales, and then you start to teach and train people, and you realize you suck at second round interviews, and you just get better at second round interviews. You suck at teaching and training people. You suck at managing multiple people. But I'm telling you, you keep playing the video game, you're going to keep getting better. You're going to progress. Okay, one thing that'll help you out with wherever it is that you're at, whatever level it is that you're at, you have to be committed. You have to, I think this is kind of what Rob was talking about a couple weeks ago Monday, but like, you have to be committed to winning the game. You have to be committed to overcoming that enemy and telling yourself that you're not going to be a loser, you're going to be a winner. You're going to overcome whatever obstacle it is that you're going through, whatever devil it is that you're facing, like you're going to win, but you have to be committed to that, okay? And real commitment, and this is what I love seeing people have obstacles get thrown in front of them, because we've said this before, the campaigns right now, energy, drop shit, it's all way too easy, everyone makes way too much money, it's almost annoying. Why? Because no one faces any adversity, no one faces any obstacles, and our biggest worry with that is what are they gonna do when they finally get an obstacle? What are they finally gonna do when adversity hits them? What are they finally gonna do when life gets hard? Okay, because a lot of people, they don't go through hard times right now. The hard times right now are making like $600-700. And that is not a that in my opinion, $600-700, that's like pretty decent income when you compare it to the rest of the world. It is not that challenging to live off of $600-700 in comparison to what other people do. Okay? Back in the days, when we talked about this a lot, but there used to be, we would get days off if we didn't get enough sales consistently. And there was plenty, and even me, some people would think that I'd get special treatment because I was Rob's brother. When I was a rep under Rob, I'd come into the office, but I wasn't allowed to clock in. Okay, so I'd be working off the clock all the time, and I remember and our base pay was $400 if you worked the full week, and I remember having to come in, and I wasn't able to clock in, I didn't have enough sales, I didn't have enough installs going through, and I remember making like a $300, $250 paycheck and it absolutely fucking sucked me because I just moved my whole entire life out to Waterloo, Iowa, thinking I was gonna be making way more money than I was making at the airport, and I was gonna be working way less than I was working at the airport, and everything was wrong. Nothing turned out the way that it was supposed to turn out. And a lot of people will roll, when adversity really hits them, they'll roll over, they'll wet the bed, and they'll run away. But if you're committed to making things work, that's when you start to figure things out, and that's when you start to develop some actual character, okay? And when you have an obstacle in your way, when you have that devil in front of you, and you actually go through with what it is that you originally committed to doing, okay, that's when you start to become who you can really become. That's when you start to develop the true character, and that's when you start to get the true potential out of you, okay? But most people, again, they make a decision during acne. They make a decision when they're really excited, and they say they're gonna be committed to winning, they're gonna be committed to success, they're gonna be committed to whatever. But what happens when life punches you in the face? Okay, what are you gonna do then? Because that's the only thing that matters, because the question isn't, is life gonna punch me in the face? It's not, I'm gonna punch life harder. It's how many times can you get hit and keep moving forward? That's it. How many more times can you get hit and keep moving forward? Because I promise you, if things are going good for you right now, I don't mean to speak negative, I just know an obstacle is gonna come your way. Life is going to punch you in the face, and you're eventually going to get into a level where life is gonna punch you so hard that you're gonna wanna quit. I probably had like 3 people talk to me about quitting this week, and I fucking love it when people talk to me about quitting. Why? Because that means they're finally going through fucking something that if they overcome it, they're gonna be so much better off as an individual. But if you never think about quitting, if you never have any obstacles, that worries the shit out of you. Because if they never go through anything, they never go through any difficulties, you don't know what it is that they're made of. And the second that they get an obstacle, the second that they get an adversity, they might crumble. But I want someone that's, I can see that they have a calloused mind. And that's the perspective that you need to have. And how you look at your obstacles will determine how it is that you react to it. And when you have that perspective of every time that something bad happens, you get fucking excited. Why? Because you know you're gonna get experience. You know you're gonna develop your mindset. You know you're gonna develop that callous mentality that that David Goggins talks about. Okay, but if you're the type of person that as soon as adversity hits you, I don't want to deal with this. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna smoke some weed. I'm not gonna deal with it. Okay, the issue will be there. The issue will be there the next day. It'll be there the next time that you have to progress to the next level. It's not just going to get away. Okay, you have to learn to face it head on. And my biggest advice is get committed. Okay, and don't waver when things aren't going your way. Stay committed, stay the course, no matter what it is that you're going on. And your commitment should just be to your success, your personal success starting off, okay? Maybe not to the business, maybe not to doing a bunch of sales, maybe not to making a shit ton of money, whatever it may be, but you should be committed to yourself. You should be committed to having a good life. You should be committed to living life beyond average. You should be committed to being obsessed with your life. And I've talked about this before, where some people are so excited about going out on the weekends, are so excited about football games, basketball games, whatever sports is in season right now. There's something that people are really excited about and has nothing to do with their freaking life. Get excited about your own fucking life and doing something about it. Get excited about being that person that everyone's watching when the spotlight's on them. You get excited about being that individual because you can be that individual. The only issue is that the only reason you're not is the belief that you have in yourself. Okay? So have that level of mentality, have the perspective that every negative that's going on, okay, it's making you better, it's making you stronger, and you just have to persevere and you just have to pursue. Cool?
Let's go! Angel, please. Hike it for Angel, bro. He talks to me. Let me see. Come on. You gotta produce Angel. All your friends. 1, 2, 3.